WWE 2K24 is now out of early access. That means every single one of you can experience this amazing game mode called WWE 2K Showcase. AKA, let me think real quick. As a matter of fact, I don't need to. The worst game mode I've ever seen in WWE games history. Maybe not. Honestly, it's up there. Sure, it's not the most annoying. It can get there. It can be the worst thing ever. I vividly remember one of my friends telling me that it was torture when he played WWE 2K22 showcase mode. Actual torture. And he was talking about this match with John Cena. I don't remember who it was. Well, like I said, that was when he played WWE 2K22's showcase mode. We're at 2K24. Has there been any changes or improvements at all? The answer is no. As a matter of fact, it might be even worse this year. I mean, where do we even start with this? We're talking about 40 years of WrestleMania. We only have 21 matches? While WWE 2K14, that came out 10 years ago, has more bang for your buck with actual in-game cutscenes. I guess let's get the big boy out of the way first. The slingshot technology, the bane of human existence. Instead of calling it the slingshot technology, just say what it is, man. Just say that we are extremely lazy. We don't give a crap about the fact that you're giving us $70, 80 Canadian dollars. Hey, that's the standard version. Most of you are buying the biggest version, which is like what, 160 Canadian dollars and how many US dollars? The price of 2 games! And we're not even bothered enough to give you actual cutscenes. In the showcase mode, pretty much one of the biggest modes of all time. 90% of the people, you know what they will do? They will check out the showcase, they will play the first match, call it an absolute piece of crap because that's exactly what it is. They'll move on to My Rise, which this year My Rise is actually pretty good. I mean, same gameplay, same problems, but the stories are pretty fun. They're gonna enjoy their time there. If they don't play online, maybe they'll look at universe mode. They're gonna see that it's the exact same as well, and they're gonna get out of there because that's the value you give to us right now for $70. And I've, you know, rightfully so criticized and called out AEW Fight Forever for this. I'm gonna have to call you out here as well, 2K. I mean, they couldn't even get the slingshot technology right. I mean, it's horrible. It's desynced. The audio is desynced. You see somebody getting body slammed and the boop, audio comes in like 5 seconds later. What are you doing? You had one very easy job. One very easy job. You go from gameplay, you right click and say apply default transitions. If you edit videos on Premiere Pro, you know exactly what I'm talking about. That's literally all you had to do, and you even screwed that up. What baffles me is that you have Shawn Michaels, right? You gave him a special entrance, but when you look at Undertaker, Shawn Michaels, WrestleMania 25, they don't even do their entrances because they didn't even bother getting Michael Cole and Byron Saxton into a booth so they can record unique commentary for their entrances. But it still baffles me because the animation is in the game, man. And let's continue speaking about the beauty of the slingshot technology. Here's what happens. You complete about 15 boring objectives that are very difficult to understand or just an absolute chore to get through. It's a chore simulator. It's literally what it is. Just mindless, useless grind. You go through that grind and you try to find the northeast corner of the arena, the ringside. You've tried to find the northeast or southwest turnbuckle because you couldn't just say bottom left or bottom right. Well, in the My Rise mode, you say it as top right. You say in the My Rise road it's top right, but when it comes to showcase, it's southeast, it's southwest, it's northwest. What is this? Like an actual AI or a human wrote these objectives? And I look at the objectives, right? You're trying to fight your battle, right? You're dodging with the R1 button, you're doing the boxing animation in a pro wrestling game. And what happens? You see an objective and it's literally a biography. Hey man, I got up in the morning, I had my coffee and it was really nice. I went to work, I came back, I had dinner, I tucked my kids into bed, I give them a kiss, I went back to sleep, and I did the exact same thing over and over again. You have to read that huge paragraph, and at the very end, or maybe in the middle, you will see your objective. Like, what the f***? I'm sorry. Who designed this? I mean, there's being lazy, and then there's this. It felt like they just went out of their way to make this the worst that it can be. If you're gonna make this low effort, at least don't get in our way. At least don't cause too much pain here. I played this on easy, and it was just still a whole lot of pain to get through, man. Imagine playing this on Legend. You see, I bought this new controller because I've been using like my old one ever since 2015, this would have been dead. I would have thrown this to the wall, it would have gone through the wall, it would have been broken, it would have been gone. I nearly bursted off just into a swear fest, a cursing fest. 3, 4, 5 times I can count. Trying to deal with the weird, again, like Irish flip directions because I wanted Irish flip him to the corner, but I put him on the apron. The AI, or me as well, every time I take a bump, I roll out of the ring. Like, I'm so tired of rolling out of the ring. That should happen maybe once a match and that's it, but it happens almost all the time. But if the game works properly, if you get the AI to the northeast corner without the AI reversing as well, if peaks fly in every single star align, then you go ahead and grapple your opponent for the slingshot technology to come in. We see the real life footage. What happens is your guy does a body slam and then he's so tired as well and he falls down, and we watch what? Actual 5 minutes of 2 people laying down. I could just go on Peacock and do that. I'm not here to watch stuff. Even when this thing was in game, even in 2K15 when you did everything in game, the biggest criticism of this whole thing was the fact that we're just watching. We can do that at WWE Network, but at least you put in the effort to put those cutscenes in the game. Like, this mode has in-game cutscenes too, but like, if it goes on more than 3 seconds, I start to think that the world is gonna end, something went wrong. And whenever something cool is gonna happen, they cut the slingshot. Like, oh my god, man, this is spit in the face. Not only of people who don't want to be cool, but to your consumers. Going back to what I said a moment ago, the slingshot technology comes in, both people are down, and we just watch them selling. And like, I bring this up because I've seen this happen over and over and over and over again. Like, I've found myself so many times. Okay, I'm not gonna skip this because I recorded the entire thing. I'm gonna do one of those videos where I finished the entire game mode in one video. So what I wanted to do is, because I cannot show any of the real life footage, which is 90% of the freaking mode, I said maybe I can show all of the in-game cutscenes, even though they don't make sense that much, even though they're like for 3 seconds. And what that required me to do for most of the time was to watch the in-game cutscenes, right? And the most ridiculous example for this was the Bray Wyatt and John Cena match. You literally just watch cutscenes for 20 minutes. And you know what the worst part is? I enabled the creator safe mode, which disables all the freaking music. All of it. What is the point of the creator safe mode? What? You know, maybe you could have lowered down the music audio so the algorithm wouldn't pick it up. Maybe you could have done other creative solutions, like maybe come up with some, you know, royalty-free music that you can put out there for creators. But no, you go ahead and do something even worse. For Showcase, if you enable creator safe mode, you can't even hear the cutscenes. The cutscenes have no audio. And the matches, they're just silent. You just hear the crowd. No background music on the matches. No commentary either. At least put default commentary in there. This thing just fails class F on every single category. It is an absolute chore, like I said, and you got 21 matches waiting for you. If you can survive those, you got one more bonus match. I'm not gonna spoil what it is. And guess what? Besides the last match, if you want to unlock all of the Showcase stuff, you can't just write a cheat code in the locker room or something like that. You gotta play and do all of the objectives of the 21 freaking matches. If you're on PC, good luck with the Randy Orton and Seth Rollins match at WrestleMania 31. I heard that doesn't work properly. For some, in my experience, it just made the eyes of the wrestlers look crazy. But guess what? None of this stuff I've said to you right now is news to 2K. They know this. They know this, and they take us for fools. And the proof of that is the 40 years of WrestleMania edition of this game. You look at the DLC list, what do you see? A DLC that lets you bypass all of this. We know that this mode is terrible. Wouldn't it be cool if you could just skip this terrible mode that we made? Would it be cool if you paid us more so you don't play our game? Go ahead, buy this edition right here. Like, as a developer, I would be insulted. My game mode is so bad that if you're willing to give $70 plus, you can just bypass it. Like, oh my god. For a game that has so many quality of life improvements, it's surprising to see none of those make it to the Showcase mode. This is my one big problem with the game. Other than that, the game is actually pretty decent this year. But like I said, I had to lay the smack down on this mode because I'm not a MyGM player, for example, but I can tell that you tried to do something new with that. And you tried to make it better. But Showcase, man, this ain't it. This ain't it, Chief. That being said, I did talk about My Rise being much more fun this year, so you can go ahead and check out some of the episodes right here. In the meanwhile, I'm getting out of here.